Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a deeply counterintuitive theme. In our hyper-connected, always-on world, we're told visibility is absolutely everything, right? But today, we're looking at the exact opposite, the strategic power of silence. We're going to explore why keeping your mouth shut might actually be the ultimate life hack for achieving your goals, healing your body, and even protecting your mind. This brings us to a critical question that completely flips modern expectations. Does sharing your goals actually destroy them? Think about the standard internet advice we hear all the time. We're constantly told to post everything, build a personal brand, and broadcast our ambitions to our networks just to, quote-unquote, stay accountable. But what if that conventional wisdom is completely backward? What if broadcasting your next move is literally the exact thing guaranteeing you'll never actually make it? To set the stage, I want to bring up this surprising but honestly brilliant piece of cultural wisdom from the rapper Lil Wayne. He said, "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." Right? It's a clever play on the silent G in the word lasagna, but it hits the nail on the head for our core concept. True power, real achievement, and genuine progress, they happen behind the scenes. It's all about keeping your plans completely to yourself until they are fully executed. Section 1, the oversharing epidemic and our wired habits. To really grasp why moving in silence is so powerful, we first have to look at the environment we live in right now. We have this chronic, almost undeniable urge to post absolutely every second of our lives. I mean, we post the GPS maps of our morning running routes just to prove we put in the hard work. We post perfectly curated photos of those pale green iced matcha lattes sitting at our desks. We even prominently tag our partners when they give us a gift, instead of just enjoying the moment privately. Our brains have basically become wired to record, curate, and post the whole shebang just to get that external validation. But recently, this massive viral trend called move in silence has started pushing back hard against these deeply ingrained habits. Creators are telling millions of viewers that if you genuinely want that dream job, a move to a new city, or a totally new lifestyle to actually come to fruition, you have to stop talking about it. Section 2, the science of silence. Why talking sabotages action. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this isn't just some internet folklore or a fleeting trend. It is backed by hard, fascinating data on human motivation. Look at this data from a study led by psychologist Peter Gallwitzer at New York University. Researchers gave participants a task. The folks who kept their goals totally private, they worked for an average of 45 minutes. But the ones who announced their plans in advance, they quit after just 33 minutes. That is roughly a 25% drop in productivity. And the crazy twist here is that the people who shared their goals actually reported feeling closer to finishing the task, even though they did significantly less work. Gallwitzer noted that simply telling people your intentions gives you this premature sense of completeness. This happens because of something psychologists call identity symbols. Basically, your brain uses these mental markers to create your self-image. But ironically, your brain has a really hard time distinguishing between the satisfaction of taking actual action and the satisfaction of simply talking about taking action. Talking completely satisfies that part of your brain. So, Gallwitzer found that this effect is actually the strongest for the goals you care about the most. The big lesson here? The more passionate you are about a goal, the more secretive you absolutely must be, because talking about it literally drains the cognitive drive you need to actually achieve it. And it gets trickier because sharing opens you up to feedback, which can also completely derail you. A University of Chicago study by Professor Eilert Fischbach revealed a really fascinating dynamic. When positive feedback signals commitment to a goal, it boosts motivation. But when positive feedback signals progress, it actually decreases your motivation. Think about a math student who gets a great grade on an early test. If she sees that high score as a sign that she's making real progress, she might actually ease up and study less. So when you tell your friends, hey, I'm going to backpack through Europe, and they give you that dopamine bursting, wow, that's awesome, your brain registers that praise as progress, and boom, your motivation vanishes. Let's move to section 3, healing through private words and the physical impact. Let's see how this builds. Because silence doesn't just mess with our mental goal setting, it actually has profound physical healing powers. We're shifting gears now from the goals we project outward to the pain we process inward. In a landmark 2013 study, which built on the pioneering work of social psychologist James Pennebaker, researchers looked at the physical effects of expressive writing. They took two groups of adults, age 64 and older, who had all just undergone a simple biopsy procedure that left a small, uniform wound on their arm. One group was asked to write, completely privately, about their deepest, most upsetting emotions for 20 minutes a day. The other group just journaled about emotionally neutral, everyday activities. The results here were absolutely staggering. Just 11 days after the biopsy, 76% of the group that did the private emotional expressive writing had fully healed. 76%. Compare that to only 42% in the neutral control group. It turns out confronting your deepest traumas and keeping them in a private, unshared space eases severe psychological stress. By letting it all out privately, you calm your nervous system. And that literally takes the burden off your immune system, allowing it to heal your physical wounds almost twice as fast. Incredible, right?
Section 4, the manipulation threat. Guarding your mind. Now, we need to escalate the stakes of it, because this oversharing epidemic, it doesn't just kill your goals or slow down your physical healing, it actively arms emotional predators. When you don't move in silence, you leave your mind entirely unguarded. To understand this, we're looking at concepts from Paul Anenda's book on dark psychology and manipulation. And looking at these methods impartially reveals a pretty chilling reality. A mind controller approaches a victim with the sole intent of essentially cloning themselves into the victim's mind. They want to make the other person think exactly like them. And to pull this off, they rely entirely on the information that you voluntarily hand over to them.
So, here is the manipulator's playbook, broken down into steps. Step 1, they scan for clues. They decode your defenses by analyzing your leaked public data, your verbal style, and even your body language, like if you cross your arms to show insecurity or if you blink excessively. Step 2, they find an entry point. Because you haven't been moving in silence, they already know your routines, your weaknesses, and your interests. And finally, step 3, they use this bespoke data to unfreeze your solid beliefs and completely bypass your defenses. You've essentially just handed them the exact blueprint to control you.
Section 5, how to move in silence and practical steps for privacy. So the crucial point is,
How do we actually protect ourselves? How do we pivot from the very real threats of dark psychology and those motivation-killing traps of oversharing toward an empowering solution? Well, we can anchor this with some incredible historical wisdom from Benjamin Franklin, who famously said, "Well done is better than well said." Moving in silence isn't some brand new concept. History proves time and time again that silent action and humility always win in the long run. You have to let your actions speak loudly and let your progress make the announcements for you.
Here are some really actionable takeaways curated from our Life Architecture source to help you do exactly that. Number 1, keep your plans completely private until they're actually executed. Number 2, focus on your own lane. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Number 3, you don't have to be a total hermit here. Science actually suggests that sharing your goals with just 1 or 2 deeply trusted friends for meaningful support is totally fine. And number 4, value privacy over secrecy. This is a big distinction. Privacy is healthy. It's actively choosing what and with whom you share. Secrecy, on the other hand, is hiding things out of fear. So be strategic, not scared.
ultimately, as the Dalai Lama beautifully expressed, silence is sometimes the best answer. True peace comes from protecting your vision. It comes from realizing that you really don't need an audience for every single achievement or milestone in your life. Taking quiet steps gives your goals a much stronger foundation. And honestly, it protects your energy from unnecessary drama and everyone else's outside opinions. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to take a hard look at your own digital footprint, your own habits, and the things you broadcast to the world every single day. What is one goal, one project, or one deeply personal thought that you can protect by keeping it to yourself? What are you going to keep a secret today?